Hey, Taylor Johnson here. If you're listening to this, you've either made a great choice or you've accidentally clicked something while scrolling. Either way, you should stay. This is Pop Culture Pastor.
Pop Culture Pastor.
All right, so right before we came on, nobody would have known this, but I'm going to out Cody because he sat here and he said that ballet and opera were outdated art forms that nobody liked.
Does that sound like me?
Yes, actually it does, very much so.
Doubling down on the Chalamet.
Team Timothée.
Yeah.
About that yeet, though.
On the surface, when that came out and that became a thing, I was just like, okay, but he's not lying, though. Do most people go through their day like really thinking, like, of course, ballet and opera have their fans.
Sure.
But I think that's a very concentrated group.
It's a niche.
Yeah,
but
it's a niche now. At one time, you could say it probably wasn't a niche.
And I would say within artistry, it is often viewed as the higher art forms.
Yes. Okay. So that's kind of the area I want to go in. But first, I'll say this is Pop Culture Pastors, the podcast. My name is Dave. Cody's here.
I'm the cultured one.
The other voice you heard was our friend Paul Walcher.
Then what am I?
The more cultured one.
Paul is our resident math and film professor geek.
Yes. Happy
And-
to be here.
Yeah, and so this is going to be a good conversation for Paul. But I
Yeah.
want to get into this Chalamet thing, and I want to get into this something specific part of it because my problem with is like not the initial comment because
Sure.
I don't care. That didn't affect me.
I cared.
In fact, I was just kind of like, okay, I don't see what the big deal is, but I was wrong. I was way wrong.
So I know some dancers, even if they just did ballet for a year while growing up in dance studios, they had beef. Ground beef, if you will.
So here's the beef, all right, if you will. Timothée Chalamet, had been the presumed frontrunner for Best Actor for months for his role in Marty Supreme. Did you see Marty Supreme, Paul?
I did not see Marty Supreme.
Shockingly, ping pong is not the top film interest that I have.
I didn't see it either, but to be fair, that never made its way to our little small
My
town
interest
theater.
expired after Balls of Fury.
Then about 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks before the ceremony, video surfaces from a CNN Variety town hall where he's talking to Matthew McConaughey about the movie business. And his point was essentially that he doesn't really want to be in any art forms where you have to beg people to show up. He says he wants to make things people actually want to see. But the way he said it lands kind of bad. He says, quote, "No one cares about this anymore," referring to ballet and opera.
Yes.
Now, this blew up for a couple of reasons. First, his own family has deep ballet roots. His grandmother, mother, and sister all danced with the New York City Ballet.
Woof.
He literally grows up backstage at the Koch Theater, so I didn't know this part. Second, Misty Copeland, who is a dancer, comes out and said that Chalamet had personally asked her to help promote Marty Supreme. I don't know how that works, but I'm just going by what I'm reading here, which made the comments feel even more tone deaf.
Yep.
It's Morse code from the taps.
Third,
See Marty Supreme.
the ballet and opera communities show up loud
Yeah.
after this all happens, right?
Of course.
Some shows were discounting tickets with the code Chalamet, which you got to remember how to spell that, I guess.
Tutus represent.
Open letters from his own performing arts high school. Doja Cat,
Yeah. Doja.
came out and defended opera. Of all things, like Doja Cat.
That's giant of discourse.
So the works, man.
Right.
It just blows up in this very big way that everyone probably heard about. Then finally, the Oscars.
Right.
Which were Sunday night. It became the running joke of the night at the Oscars. Conan O'Brien, who's the host, opened with a crack about security concerns from the ballet and opera communities, which is funny. Misty Copeland performs a ballet to the theme of the Sinners movie, which is like their direct competition, like right in front of them.
Yep.
With Chalamet sitting right there. He played it cool. He smiled throughout, even when they were joking about it. He never addressed it publicly, but he loses Best Actor. And this has kind of become apparent in the last couple weeks when so Michael B. Jordan wins the Golden Globe,
Right.
Yep.
which is a couple weeks ago, and then like you start hearing that rumbling of like, oh no, he lost it because he was the front runner this whole time, and now because he said that, so nobody's gonna go on the record and officially say his comments cost him the Oscar, but the timing's really hard to ignore. Academy voters are artists. Many of them come up through theater, dance, classical training. So telling them no one cares about what these are legacy art forms right before they fill out their ballots is probably not ideal strategy. So here's what blows my mind about all this. I think it's wild to think that these aren't performance-based. Like, these are supposed to be performance-based awards. This is not a presidential election.
Right.
Like, where everything you say and do could swing momentum or should swing momentum at the last second. Like, these are supposed to be about, like, by all accounts, there's plenty of Academy Award-winning actors who people didn't like.
Yes.
Right.
I guess, what do you guys think about this? Because it kind of blows me away.
It does not blow me away. There's two things that happen here. One, when he says this, he's on his marketing tour for Marty Supreme because it got released late, which is a strategy for Oscar potential films. So he says this to get press. But oftentimes when you are chasing press for these Oscar artsy films, the Academy dings you. I was watching the Ringer podcast, and they went through a list of actors that had done this, and same thing happened to them. So there's a historical precedence for this. Also, it might be the most tone-deaf thing to ever say as you are promoting
Right.
a ping pong player biopic movie.
Is that what it is?
Yes!
I don't even know.
It's based on
Yeah.
a real life ping pong player.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, number one, I think we found a new Cody verse character. I didn't know this until now, but clearly there's a version of you that's accountable Cody. That's
Yes.
going to hold other people accountable for the things they do and say.
It happens.
Cody, it tends to come out of Cody, and I didn't notice it till tonight because we were talking about something else completely unrelated before we started recording, and he was also holding someone accountable.
Sometimes you got to do that, David.
Okay, so accountability, Cody, new sticker, book it. Okay. Number two, Paul. So if the Academy is sending a message here, is it naive of me to think that the ballot should be purely about performance? It kind of bothers me.
Yes, it is. There's way too many people in the Academy for it to be strictly a skills-based thing. If you wanted that, it would have to be juried and have 8 to 20 people who voted in a committee about it. To get into the Academy, I think you have to be Actors Guild or the behind-the-scenes people in the various guilds of there. So there's just thousands and thousands of people in the Academy, and it's just any time you have that many, it's going to be a political thing, and they're not going to watch all of the nominees anyway.
Yes, and that was the thing a couple years ago, that a lot of the people that were voting hadn't watched any of these films.
I mean, would you watch the ping pong biopic?
I mean, it's not at the top of my list,
Right.
And I don't have a lot of time
I mean,
these days. I was used to be at an age once when I didn't have family,
King of Kong, yes.
where
Ping
I would
pong,
watch
no.
all the movies nominated for Best Picture.
Sure.
But yeah, those days are gone.
Yeah.
I had seen over half, but I hadn't seen this one. Who got the award, you could have argued was going to be either first or second anyway if Timothée hadn't said these things.
Yeah, that's the other part of it, and I want to be clear. Michael B. Jordan deserved to win.
Oh, yeah.
Sinners was a great movie, and he was great in it, playing two roles.
Yeah, I think he was a decent front runner anyway, regardless of what Timothée said.
Yeah. Well, okay, so Cody, let's assume, okay, you guys are right about all this.
I do wanna
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
do want to say one other thing about Chalamet. I can kind of understand why he would say something stupid about it, because he's not thinking about that. He's worried about movies, which are kind of in danger of kind of slotting into a niche.
Yes.
It's not a monoculture anymore, and there just aren't as many people going to the movies. You know, we're long past the day of, sold out midnight showings for things.
True.
And I don't necessarily say that, all the change is necessarily bad. It's just, the kids I know watch a lot of YouTube.
Well, Cody, okay, so let's assume that you guys are right. It's a natural thing to happen, and he shouldn't have said it. Let me ask you this: the repentance side of this. Mm-hmm. He never addressed it.
He has to watch Black Swan.
No. That's not that kind of repentance. I mean the kind of repentance that once he saw
That's penance
what
anyway.
his words had done, he never addresses it.
Sure.
He doesn't apologize. He doesn't even try to clarify it. He just smiled through the Oscars. Is there a version of this where owning it and saying, hey, that came out wrong, I'm sorry, where he actually turns that narrative around and can maybe win still? Will he regret that? Was like some publicist telling him, just don't say anything?
I feel the Oscar crowd, the Academy, if you will, is a little hoity-toity. And that is beneath them.
Or, I mean, it could be that we just don't know who Timothée Chalamet is. I don't want to tear down their publicists because maybe the publicists know maybe Timothée Chalamet is a goober. He's a goofball.
He's AI.
Yeah, and maybe they just say, hey, just don't say anything because they'd be afraid an apology would come out like, hey, I'm sorry, offended you nerds.
With the banjo.
Well,
I'm sorry.
true story. He's a huge WWE fan.
Well, that cinches it right there. We got to keep this guy off the mic. How dare you come after me?
So he might start dropping jabronis, and then you have a bigger PR nightmare than what you already got.
Let one of you two wearing peeps come meet me in the cage.
That was actually pretty good. All right. Okay.
Yeah, brother.
That was interesting. It was very interesting. And I wonder, I would give a lot of time and energy to know what he thinks, like what is going through his head right now. Because what is very clear about Chalamet, what's very important to him is he's already, for a young guy, he's already talks about legacy a lot. So he wanted to win.
Yes.
It was important.
He strikes me as the LeBron James of thespians.
He's going to have to learn how to win, right?
Going to have to, A, learn how to win, but also, B, he's chasing these greats, and you question if you get too tunnel visioned and you miss out on enjoying just the ride. Because like in Denzel in his older years is like, you know what, I just really like to make movies, and like
yes, I'll be in Gladiator 2, Ridley Scott.
Yeah, I get to work with Ridley Scott, who at times is regarded as one of the greats.
That killed him. Do you see how much that hurt him?
But yeah, like you get to see like it's okay to be human. It's okay to enjoy the time that you're in and not just worry about am I winning all the time.
But now that you've mentioned it, I am looking forward to when Chalamet calls himself the GOAT.
Yeah,
it's happening.
Chalamet the GOAT.
All right, that was a good news item. I really wanted to talk about that. It was really interesting to me. But yeah, you guys
Chalamet.
You guys want to play the movie game?
Sure. Yeah.
Why
All
not?
right, let's go play the movie game. We'll be right back. Okay, we're going to play the movie game. I'm telling you, someday, Paul, we will package and like we'll put it on the what's the thing people give extra money, the Patreon.
Oh yeah.
And it will just be the outtakes that take place in between the actual recordings.
Yeah, there you go.
Because some of the conversations we have in the middle of all this is like the most interesting stuff. But I'd have to record it like on the sly because if you know you're being recorded, you're not going to talk about these things.
And right now, I can see the computer monitor.
Yeah, and so like if he knew we were being recorded, then it wouldn't happen like it would happen, where the popularity ratings would drastically swing from Cody back to me.
You're going to start hiding mics.
We're going to catch him on a hot mic.
Right?
No, it wouldn't. I'm just messing around. Although Cody does have some
hot takes.
There is a character trait in Cody where when the mic is on and we're recording, he does play a part, which we play into with the stickers, the Cody verse. He does play a part sometimes, and contrarian Cody especially, where he's just trying to get a rise out of you.
That makes better podcasting.
It's true. Yeah, it's time to play the movie game. Paul, you are aware now how the movie game works.
I look forward to continuing my dynasty of mediocrity.
Nice. I have 3 Rotten Tomato movie profiles in front of me. One for a certified rotten movie, one for a mediocre movie, and one for a certified fresh movie. And there's 5 levels, and you'll get these 5 levels to try and make a guess. And you'll be going up against Cody head to head.
I still have no confidence in my trash skills, so I'm going to go up to mediocre again.
Mediocre? Boy, he's doing mediocre movies.
I want to challenge myself. I can't.
Don't do that.
Can't rest on the laurels.
That is how you lose, sir.
Yes.
All right. The year and the critic score is
Dynasty.
Like that's the movie you're guessing?
No.
Didn't they make that into a movie? The TV show Dynasty? Or
I
did they
hope
not?
not.
They didn't. Okay. Year and critic score. 56% critic score for a movie that came out in 2004.
2004.
56% 2004.
Is it The Day After Tomorrow?
It is not The Day After Tomorrow. That's a good guess, though. Solid.
I feel that's good.
Yeah. The second billed actor is the former Mrs. Tom Brady, Bridget Moynihan. Bridget Moynihan. 56% in 2004.
Were they married or were they just engaged?
Oh, they might have just been engaged. I don't know.
They had a kid together.
They had a kid.
I do actually know a couple of movies Bridget Moynihan is in.
Guess one.
It's which one? I really like that one, but people might think it's mediocre.
The rating's mediocre, 56%.
Let me go with Lord of War.
It is not Lord of War.
Thank God.
It is not Lord of War.
I was going to say I need more.
Cody was sweating bullets.
More than 2.
Level 3, the audience score goes up here from the 58% critical score. It's 70%. So audiences liked better critics. So guess another Bridget Moynihan movie that audiences would have liked.
iRobot.
It is iRobot. Nice.
Dag
Level
nabbit.
3. He's mad because he could have guessed that one. That was the other one.
Yeah, it was the other one. I
Okay,
like it more than
so-
56%, but yeah.
iRobot.
Yeah, what about iRobot?
Who's the lead?
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
No, he's not.
You don't. You say
you
no.
like Chi McBride?
It is Alan.
Oh, it's Alan Tudyk.
Oh,
yeah.
It is. I have beef.
It's James Cromwell, the guy.
Cody. Man, Cody, you were in a mood tonight.
Well, I did see an interview with my friend Alan where he talked about how audiences thought that his character was the main focus and that Will should not have been put as the lead, but Will's ego, they made him lead on the poster, and then he didn't even make the poster. Alan didn't.
That sounds iffy. Like
He explained it in a way he didn't seem like a jerk about it.
No.
Where I
Yeah.
am presenting it in the way that he should feel like he was number one.
I like Alan Tudyk, and
Yeah.
I would push back slightly and say, was it that, or was it the filmmaker, like the movie company that said Will Smith brings in the money?
Right.
Yes, and that's probably it. But
Yeah.
and he might have worded it that way. My memory is like
Anti Will Smith.
ever since the slap,
That
I've been
jerk.
out.
That's an Alex Proyas film, and I think it was his next one was Gods of Egypt. So he really took a dive after that one.
Oh, you didn't like? Never mind. I couldn't even finish that. Cody, or certified fresh or certified rotten? Where are you going?
I always go fresh.
Fresh. We're going fresh. Okay.
I don't challenge myself.
Here we go. The year and the critic score. The year is 2000.
Okay.
2000, 78%, which apparently qualifies as certified fresh. 78%.
The day after tomorrow.
In the year 2000. It's not as good a guess when the other guy already guessed it.
At least he didn't say Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's true. I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so 78%, 2000. The second billed actor, Joaquin Phoenix.
Signs.
It is not Signs.
Oh.
So the audience score is 87%. Audiences enjoyed it more than critics. And so year 2000, Joaquin Phoenix. Guess another Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Is it Gladiator?
It is Gladiator.
I should have looked at the poster behind you because it had the year 2000.
We're just getting all the Ridley Scott tonight, too. So
Yeah.
this is going to be a fun Ridley Scott conversation night.
Again, at times, Ridley Scott is considered one of the greats.
So, Paul, this is going to be the tiebreaker. You know how it works. I think you've already been through this.
We're digging through the trash at last.
We are digging through the trash for this
Paul,
tiebreaker.
this might be your game-winning moment. Where you dunk on me.
You get one guess per level, and guess whenever you feel like it. All right.
Okay.
Gladiator.
Level 1 year and critic score for this is a 21% rated movie that came out in 2014.
2014.
Pirates of the Caribbean, number 4.
It is not.
On Stranger Tides. I think?
It is not that.
Oh, I guess I need to guess something. 2014. The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Good guess, but no.
Yeah.
The second billed actor is Will Arnett. 21%, 2014. Second billed actor, Will Arnett. Yeah, this one's tricksy.
What terrible movie has him as a secondary actor?
Will Arnett, 21%, 2014.
MacGruber.
I was going to say, both of you are speechless. It's
Yeah.
not MacGruber.
I don't
Although,
even know if he was in that one.
solid guess.
There's that Amy Adams movie and Paul Rudd, We Came Together. Is he in that?
No, and I don't even remember that movie. I must have blocked it out.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
The third level is the audience score, 50%. So audiences enjoyed it more than the critics. And the second billed actor is Will Arnett for this 2014 movie.
Lego Movie.
It is not Lego Movie.
No, that killed.
Yeah, it killed.
it
Those
did
were
really
those were
well.
rated very well.
I imagined it was, but
Yeah, even critics got into the everything is awesome. Let's go with Will Arnett. What am I doing with my life?
did they make an Arrested Development movie?
They should have.
I mean, maybe it's a bad animated movie. Let's go with what's that racing snail movie?
Turbo?
Turbo.
I'll help you out.
Turbo.
Solid guess, not Turbo. Now we go to the top billed actor, level 4. The top billed actor is Megan Fox. Megan Fox, 2014, 21% critic score, 50% audience score.
Is it Jennifer's Body?
It is not Jennifer's Body. Will Arnett and Megan Fox.
I'm missing it because Transformers.
It is not Transformers.
She
That
was
means
never the top billed actor.
It is
in
time
Transformers.
for the blurb. Here it is. A quartet of vigilantes who live in the sewers of New York City.
Teenage
emerged-
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't even know. He didn't say it fully.
I just stopped.
Paul, I have to award Paul the win.
Oh.
It is the 2014 version of Teenage
Stephen
Mutant
Amell
Ninja
wasn't-
Turtles. Stephen, don't even finish that sentence.
Second bill?
Think about what you're about to say.
I avoided those movies so strenuously because of how angry I was about Transformers.
Yeah, I never watched that one. So
Yeah.
that's why Will Arnett did not ring a bell at
There you
all.
go.
That's right. I forgot Megan Fox was in those things.
I forget how many different versions of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are out there.
It's impressive.
All right. That is another edition of the movie game. Now it's time to go do our Be Kind Rewind. We talked about The Martian. It's coming up. We're about to talk about The Martian. I don't know why I said it past tense. We'll be back. All right, here we go, Cody. The United States government, Cody, has spent trillions of dollars on infrastructure and defense, healthcare, education, but none of that compares to our single greatest national expenditure. Do you know what that is?
What is that?
Rescuing Matt Damon.
You know, I don't think Jimmy Kimmel would do it.
Probably not. We have pulled this man out of World War II. We have retrieved him from the Gulf War. We have chased him across the Middle East twice.
Helped him through our educational system.
We launched an entire spaceship across the galaxy to save him, and he turned out to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Chased him across several nations.
Helped him buy a zoo.
Because apparently we still hadn't learned our lesson. We spent $200 billion, or roughly, to go pick him up off of Mars because he was potato farming.
When in Mars.
At a certain point, this is on us, right? We know what he does. He's going somewhere far away, and he's going to get stuck, and then we got to go get him. That's his whole thing.
It is.
And yet every time we mount a full-scale rescue operation like we've never met this man before. He's Matt Damon.
Should have learned from Affleck. He's not in this movie.
The internet says nearly $1 trillion fictional dollars have been spent rescuing Matt Damon.
I believe it.
And today we're going to talk about what is arguably...
And that's just on the Kimmel show. No.
Today we're going to talk about what is arguably his most expensive outing. This is a Be Kind Rewind, and we're talking about The Martian.
I've heard of this.
91% on Rotten Tomatoes, critical score, 91% audience score. So same. Won the Golden Globe for Best Picture in the comedy or musical category. More on that later. We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
It is a comedy.
Come on, man. Contrarian Cody is just here. Nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Actor. Did not win. Directed by Ridley Scott.
One of the greats at times.
One of Cody's nemesis.
Yes.
Screenplay by Drew Goddard, adapted from an Andy Weir writing, which we'll talk a lot about Andy Weir tonight, I assume, and next week when we review Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
This was released back in 2015. A budget of $108 million, which doesn't even seem real. Like $108 million, that's it?
Half a Marvel movie.
With Ridley Scott, all things are possible.
Box office $630
All
million.
budgets are possible.
$630 million worldwide. 10th highest grossing film of 2015. Here's the blurb. During a manned mission to Mars, astronaut Mark Watney is presumed dead after a fierce storm and left behind by his crew. Stranded and alone, he must use his ingenuity and botany skills to survive while NASA and his crewmates work to bring him home. When did you guys first see this? Did you guys see it in the theater? We're all old enough to have saw this in the theater. So is that where you guys see it?
I don't think so. I think I first saw it at home. I wasn't really interested until I have a brother and sister-in-law who were really into the book and just loved the movie.
But neither of you were book readers first.
So I watched it tonight. I had seen like 2 minutes of one scene, and I don't know if that was like on Reels or if that was on just me walking through and it being on in the background. So
yeah.
And I'll be honest, I haven't read the book.
Okay. So Andy Weir, who wrote this, is known for like being the science nerds.
Yeah.
Really dig him. Would you describe yourself as a science nerd, Paul?
A bit of one. I mean,
you like sci-fi.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I like sci-fi.
Okay. Did it make you want to grow potatoes?
It made me want to eat potatoes. I actually ate some potatoes today because I watched it.
To be fair, I always want to eat potatoes.
Yeah, with ketchup.
This movie comes out in 2015.
Yes.
This is essentially a movie about a crew that has gone on a mission to Mars. It's really unclear what prompted the mission. It's sort of unclear that it's just at some point in the near future, too. They never really say.
We've talked about manned Mars missions for a long time, but there's still several problems we haven't figured out yet. That's why we haven't done it.
And this is we're already into it because this is Ares 4.
Sure.
I think. So we get plopped down in the middle of this crew and we get about a day's worth of them doing cool Mars science stuff before a storm whips up and chaos ensues. One of the astronauts, being Mark Watney, gets taken out by like a satellite dish that hits him full bore when it blows off in the wind.
Stabs right through the suit.
And it hits his the thing that keeps track of his life signals. Mm-hmm. His what do they call them? Life signs. I don't know. I'm not a doctor or a scientist. Anyways,
you can call it his life monitor.
It's space. So we're talking about milliseconds and just very small variables. And so they have to make a snap decision. They assume rightly that he's probably dead. I mean, saying it was a right assumption. They're playing odds. Yeah. So they assume he's dead. They take off and we find out after we watch them escape by the skin of their teeth. We find out that Mark Watney, played by Matt Damon, is still very much alive.
Can't die.
And then the entire bulk of the movie is very much this sort of space Castaway version, space version of Castaway, where he has to figure out how to stay alive, number one, and then how to contact home, to get in touch with NASA, and then figure out how he's going to get off.
that first moment of him realizing the enormity of what's in front of him is like one of the most well-earned F-bombs in cinema, I think.
Yeah. And the movie, that is the movie essentially.
Yeah.
And then what plays out is all those forces working together to try and make that escape happen.
Yes.
And that's the movie. And it's a very good movie. I enjoy it very much. And yeah, broad take, what's your feeling in this movie?
Very first impression was I sided with Jeff Daniels a lot. A lot.
That also checks out.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's weird that disco is her go-to choice of music. And then Matt Damon had the look of what I would imagine someone that spent way too long out there. But the sanity, he seemed a lot more sane than I thought he would be.
Yeah, that might come up later in what doesn't quite hold up. But to be fair, the guy that wrote this is a big science geek, not so much a psychological, knowledgeable guy on psychology, which you being versed in psychology know very well what happens to the human brain when isolated. Yeah, that'll come up later. But Paul, do you remember the first time you saw this and like what your feelings of it were?
Oh, this movie is like a drug to me. I get such a rush from it. It both ties into my nerddom. It hits me in a lot of places where I am emotionally in my life right now. I've lived by myself for 20 years now. So in the worst parts of that, I understand some of the isolation things he's going through, but also just some of the themes of, you might even call some of the unrealistic aspects of how some of the things are working on Earth. It's so idealistic to me that it's the best parts of humanism without the worst parts of it.
Yeah. And that does make you feel good, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Like, I think just in general, what stood out for me the first time I saw this movie, and then again when I rewatched it, because I had only watched it the one time.
Sure.
And then I rewatched it last night. This is a trope.
Yeah.
Okay. So the trope of we've got something we're doing out in deep space, whatever you consider to be deep space, and then disaster strikes, and it's just about how do we solve this next problem and stay alive and continue to stay alive as long as possible. And there's a whole ton of movies based on that. Yeah. There was the one I can't stand, which is Gravity. I can't stand that movie, but it's been done so many times, especially what we just talked about, the psychological part. Yeah. That's been done a ton, even in a horror style with Event Horizon.
Sunshine is another one.
Sunshine, yes. What I loved about this movie was I didn't know anything about Andy Weir. I didn't know anything about the material it came from. And it was just like, oh, okay, another dude stranded in space story. And it was weird because Matt Damon had been in Interstellar.
Right.
Which he's a character in Interstellar, and it's the same thing. He's stranded on some deep space planet, and he's gone crazy, essentially.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, it's Matt Damon again. We're rescuing Matt Damon. But I was so pleasantly surprised when I saw this movie the first time in the theater because it's so hopeful. It's so very different. It's a very much a study of the human spirit rather than just the scariness of isolation in space.
It does keep you on the edge of your seat, and you're rooting and hoping, and hopefully you're realizing. So
yeah, it's very much easier to root for a guy like the guy Matt Damon plays in this, Mark Watney, rather than Sam Neill's character in Event Horizon.
Yeah,
I always root for Sam Neill, whether he's the good guy or the bad guy.
Let's talk about some cool behind the scenes tidbits. Drew Goddard, who adapted the screenplay, was originally set to direct this movie. He had directed Cabin in the Woods and Netflix's Daredevil.
I really respect him. He also did Bad Day at the El Royale, which is a pretty harsh movie, but it's a pretty good movie too.
Yeah, there were scheduling conflicts, pulled him off, and then Ridley Scott stepped in, which, that's a nice pinch hitter. Goddard was pretty gracious about it. He said Ridley did a better job than he would have done, which, what else are you going to say? Matt Damon was worried that it was going to be too similar to Interstellar. So he just played the guy stranded alone on a planet in that movie too, but Ridley had to come in and convince him that this would be different. This was a different tone.
Which, I mean, Christopher Nolan and Ridley Scott are drastically different with their directing styles and cinematography and all that jazz.
And Nolan's a very distinctive writer too.
Yes.
Matt Damon shot his solo Mars scenes for 5 straight weeks.
5 weeks.
After that, he was released from the schedule, so he didn't see most of his co-stars again until the press tour.
Yeah.
He's actually like, he just doesn't spend that much time around him because he doesn't spend that much time with him in the movie. They grew real potatoes on set. An actual potato farm was planted on a soundstage next to the filming stage in Budapest with potatoes at different growth stages so they could show progression on camera. Thought that was interesting. All the Mars scenes were filmed in Wadi Rum, Jordan. It's the same desert used for the Lawrence of Arabia and multiple other Mars movies, including Mission to Mars and Red Planet.
Yep.
And basically, they did some color correction.
Yeah.
But that's all. That's why it looks so good.
Yeah.
It looks real good because it's real. It's a real, landscape. NASA was deeply involved in the developing of this movie. About 50 pages of the script incorporated NASA's own material. The production got permission from NASA and consulted with their departments from script development through filming, and NASA even included the front page of the screenplay in the payload of the Orion spacecraft during a real test flight in 2014.
Yeah, on the DVDs, there's lots of stuff with actual NASA people, and Neil deGrasse Tyson did a couple of documentaries and panels with it. There was a lot of cross promotion between them at the time.
There was one big science cheat in here. So for most of it, it's more rooted in science than most sci-fi stuff. But there was one thing that was a big cheat, and it's the opening storm, the big storms. Mars's atmosphere is way too thin for winds that violent. It would feel like a light breeze. And NASA actually flagged it in the script. When they read the script, they flagged it and told them as such. And Weir and Goddard tried to come up with an alternative scenario, but couldn't make it work. So NASA's response was basically, whatever, it's only a movie.
Right.
Go with it. No one will know it any better.
Yeah.
I knew.
There's a really cool meta moment where Sean Bean's in this movie.
Yes.
He didn't die.
And the secret rescue plan they devise is called Project Elrond.
Yeah.
Which is a reference to The Lord of the Rings, which Sean Bean was in the movie. He was Boromir, but he's a part of this secret Elrond meeting and the Council of Elrond in the LOTR films. Additionally, Jeff Daniels' character says he wants his code name to be Glorfindel.
Yes.
Which, if you're a reader of the books, you know who that is. If you just watch the movies, you won't know this, but they replaced that character with Arwen.
Yes. Super nerdy.
I will say,
Yes.
I kind of miss him dying in movies.
All right.
If I could hit that with my falsetto, I'd give you a little Enya.
All right, Paul, we do this little thing where we Muppetize the movie. You're going to keep one character as a human and then Muppetize a few of the others for us. What do you got?
I figured I would replace Jeff Daniels with Sam the American Eagle. I'd keep Chiwetel Ejiofor because I think it would be funny for him to be reporting to Sam the American Eagle. I've got Kermit as Mitch Henderson, which is Sean Bean's character.
You're going to make Kermit go against orders?
Yes.
That wouldn't happen.
But I think he would put the astronauts over the rules. I think he would put the Muppet life or human life. Miss Piggy as Annie Montrose, the Kristen Wiig's character. Mm-hmm. I don't really know if I should do this because I love Michael Pena in the movie. He's very funny. He has a great back and forth with Matt Damon, but I think I'm putting Fozzie as him.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And
that works, actually.
And, of course, Rich Purnell, Gonzo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another guy I absolutely love in the movie, Benedict Wong. I'm putting Rolf in his character.
Rolf. Yeah,
Rolf
Benedict and Rolf,
yeah.
I think, would have a lot in common. Cody, what did you Muppetize?
Well, I kept Wongers.
Yeah.
Because that's how I roll. I have Gonzo being Matt Damon.
Oh.
Okay.
Because I want Gonzo out in space.
All right. That's interesting.
Going mad. Struggling.
But he didn't go mad.
He borders it. Gonzo would have went mad. And so that might be the thing that pushes him over.
Rizzo would have gone mad.
Teddy is going to be played by Beaker.
All right.
And then I want Sebastian Stan to be replaced by the Swedish Chef.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And-
Just for my humor.
And keep the relationship with Kate Mara.
I need the Swedish chef to keep on his chef hat inside the
Yes,
astronaut outfit,
yes.
though.
No, I
Yes.
think it would be better on top of the bowl.
I'm keeping Jessica Chastain
Yeah.
as Commander Lewis.
fantastic.
As the only human. And she's going to play it dead serious,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Michael Caine
Yeah,
style,
yeah.
the entire time while surrounded by Muppets. The comedy would write itself.
Yes.
And mostly, I just think it would be hilarious to see her doing astronaut things around this crew of Muppets. Mark Watney, I thought long and hard about this, but I want him to be played by Bunsen.
Oh, yeah.
Bunsen is the world's most cheerful scientist, and now he'd be stranded alone on Mars. But Bunsen wouldn't ever panic. He would be like delighted. He'd be like, oh, another experiment. Another near-death experience. But he would grow potatoes and narrate it like a lab demonstration. And then the lab blowing up is just a normal thing with Bunsen. Teddy Sanders, Sam the Eagle.
Yeah.
Clearly, Sam the Eagle was born for that role. He's running NASA with rigid authority and logic and numbers. Kermit would be Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Okay.
Or, what's his name?
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Ejiofor, yeah, his character. 'Cause
Vincent Kapoor.
Vincent Kapoor, because he's got the heart.
Yeah.
In NASA, he's
Yeah.
the guy who's going to go for the. He's always on the side of the astronauts, and then when they find out that he's alive, he could do the Kermit thing with the arms flailing, like yeah, that guy. And then of course Rich Purnell. I also had Gonzo,
Sure.
because that just makes sense to me, because he would be the weird astrodynamicist guy. It's time for What Holds Up. Paul, what holds up in this movie for you?
I do really like the score in the movie. Mainly the needle drops are great. The disco is both a funny joke in the movie, but they also take several good songs. I love the montage set to David Bowie's Starman in the movie. But I love that montage of just one thing I'll touch on in just a second. It's kind of leaning into the themes of the movie as you have all this cooperation and people working on the problem over that wonderful song from Bowie. What I love about this movie, touching a little bit more on my opening thoughts, what is such a big rush to me philosophically about the movie? Can I drop a little Bible?
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people will turn to Ecclesiastes 9:10 when they're talking about work. I'm going to go to 2:24, which is Solomon's. There's nothing better for a man than to eat and drink and tell himself that his labor is good. In Genesis, after each day, God would tell himself that his work was good. And I don't know how you guys feel, but some days it's difficult for me to tell myself my work is good.
Yeah.
Whether through
Absolutely.
Whether through depression or having some sense of the ideals behind my work are not there, or sometimes just, we had, I don't think this was on mic, but sometimes you just have someone come up to you and tell you suck.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
And in this movie, almost everyone has a clear idea of the ideal they're working towards. It's not pure in everybody. There's definitely some more political thought in some of them. And just that idea of so much of humanity, even across international borders, pulling together to work on something good, it makes you feel so good. And it's hard to experience that outside of fiction.
Yeah.
It's the best parts of Roddenberry's Star Trek without the utopian deviancy.
Yeah. I would say that was a reason why people love Star Trek, though.
Yeah.
Because I think if you believe these sorts of things, you believe that humans were created to be connected. And so the idea of us working together towards a common goal in harmony just feels right to you. And then, there's something about real world in our real reality where that can never really be except for like little pockets for limited amounts of time. But I think there's a reason we're drawn to that. And I think that's a good observation.
So much of that resonated with me. So much of the the characters resonated with me too. Like Donald Glover's character he's you could call him a stereotype because he's that creative guy in IT that is frustrating to a boss because where you can focus him is where his interest is. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get him to focus on something you want him to do. I knew that kid as a student in college, and I know that kid as a teacher in college.
Yeah.
And they are some of the most brilliant people you will ever see. But it is sometimes difficult to point them towards the problem, but it is great when they do it.
Well, and it plays it well too with they're usually bad with social skills and social norms because he's already calculated in his head that it's not worth taking the time to try to explain it to you and make you understand that it would just be worth it to just keep going.
Yeah.
And he plays that well. And there are people like that. Cody, what holds up for you?
This is going to come as a shock, David, but the cast.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of these names, but I'll go through
I wanted
them.
to leave it for you.
Matt Damon.
He sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Jessica Chastain. The name I always butcher. Vincent Kapoor.
Yeah.
Timothée Chalamet.
Yep.
I always butcher it, so I'm not even going to try. I'm sorry. Chiwetel. Kate Mara, Kristen Wiig, Seabass, as I like to call him, or Sebastian Stan.
Yep.
Michael Pena, Donald Glover, Sean Bean, Jeff Daniels, and Wongers. And we'll throw in Nick Muhammad.
You better throw in Nate the Great.
But Wongers. And Wongers had like one of my favorite lines in the whole movie. That I need a change of clothes.
I need a change of clothes. Yeah.
I just didn't remember seeing this in the theater, and I just forgot that all these people were in it. And I'm watching it last night. I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's an astounding cast.
This movie's loaded. And say what you want about Ridley Scott, but actors want to work with Ridley.
Yeah.
They do. Unless they watch Napoleon, and then they should stay away.
What else holds up, Cody?
I do think that the storytelling's great in this. That there's a really good story at the heart of it. You brought up Ecclesiastes, which I would definitely say it works also within psychology, that if you can find your purpose, you can find meaning. And so if you can say what I'm doing is good, that gives you a sense of meaning, a sense of purpose, sense of value, and then you are good to keep going. Keep trekking through all those painful moments that may be happening around you. Also, I love how realistic it is with Teddy and Vincent. They're really hesitant about telling the astronauts because they want them focused. They want them to get back. And Sean Bean's like, forget you, jabronis. No, they're doing the logical thing.
Yeah.
And they are trying to, make sure that NASA can keep doing NASA things in the future. So bringing back most of the crew is paramount to having them get a little off kilter, and then all the crew is gone. And then, you care about the people that are actually flying back. You don't want them stressed and worried and feeling grief because they made the unthinkable decision and the odds were against him living, and yet somehow life manages. No, I loved their characters. My wife's like, I am team whatever Sean Bean's character's name is, Mitch.
Yeah.
And I'm
the Bleeding Hearts would be.
Yes. And I'm like, no, Jeff Daniels is right here.
Yeah. I think what's cool about that, though, is it's so realistic in the sense of oh, no, that's a good workplace. They've done great hiring because you need all these people.
Yeah, they put them in the right places in the structure.
They complete each other and they make decisions together. And the one person that steps over the line in Sean Bean, when he defies orders, a direct order, he's like, it's a happy ending, but dude straight up says, I'm going to be expecting your resignation.
Yeah.
And you see at the end, when they're showing you all the characters at the end, he's golfing. He's wearing his golf clothes.
I'm like, Sean Bean's close enough to retirement age, probably. He's not sweating it.
Yeah.
Well, and I would point out his decision was not even that we should go with the one plan over the other. It was the astronauts should decide, not you. And
Well-
I understand Jeff Daniels saying, and honestly, if I were in Jeff Daniels' position, I would make the same decision he did. But if I were in the astronauts' position, I would make the same decision they did.
Yeah, I love those sort of I don't even know what you want to call them, but I love those sort of situations where you have about 3 or 4 different views and they're all right.
Right.
Like they're all right from their point of view and their perspective, and that goes back to, hey, you need all these people to make a good team.
Yeah.
Yes. So I loved the cast, loved the storytelling, loved some of those very realistic elements, and the fact that a lot of the science, not all of it, because we pointed out that storms aren't getting that ferocious in the thin atmosphere of Mars, but like the science holds up, because sometimes the science in science fiction movies, especially when it's like, oh, this looks like they're from Earth, it looks like our NASA, looks like everything else, why is our laws of physics not holding up to that? So like, yes, that will take me out of a science fiction movie. If science is bad, I'm out.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to talk about this later. There's a reason for that with Andy Weir. But I'll start off with what's hold up with the science. I'll just add to that.
Yeah.
Because it respects the audience intelligence without being a textbook, right? It's, when Watney says, I'm going to science the bleep out of this, that's like a thesis statement for the whole movie. And you're going to understand that when I share what I'm going to share about Andy Weir later.
The best botanist on the planet.
That's right. He's the best botanist on the planet. And that leads into another thing that holds up for me, which is Matt Damon specifically.
Yes.
He carries huge chunks of this movie alone, talking to a camera, and it never drags. And even though he knows he's in a dire situation, he's funny, he's resourceful, he's vulnerable. I would say it's arguably his best performance, maybe even over Good Will Hunting, in a completely different way than Good Will Hunting. I think it's great. He's great in this movie because he's not like the guy who does it off of charisma.
Right.
Like he's not the guy that does it off of like pure acting like Daniel Day-Lewis. He's a good actor, but he doesn't like charisma would be like Clooney, and then you got Daniel Day-Lewis. He's not either of those guys, but in this, he shines. The tone of this movie really holds up for me because it's that trope of sci-fi survival movie in space that does not wallow in despair. Watney cracks jokes while literally facing death, and the humor and the disco, it all alleviates tension in a way and keeps the audience from being like gnawing their fingernails off. You mentioned the cast. I had it on my list as well. I'm going to say the pacing at 2 hours and 24 minutes. It's a longer movie, but it didn't ever feel that way to me. And I think you got to give Ridley Scott a little credit here. Even though a large chunk of the movie is Damon alone, he cuts back and forth between what's happening on Earth, what's happening in the space station with the rest of the crew. And he does that pretty well.
The way the movie frames all of the problem solving on Mars is so impressive because you as an audience are following his thought process. And that's not just Damon. That's how it's framed, how it's written.
And I also added on here, the Mars shots are gorgeous.
Yes.
Because it's on location. They used a real desert in Jordan to film these things.
I thought they were actually at Mars.
I made a joke about it with my daughter who was watching the movie with me. I was like, can you believe they got real shots of Mars? How'd they get a camera up there? And Matt Damon. But like all the Mars stuff is physical effects on location. They just colored it. And every single scene with Donald Glover, I don't know if you can call him a hidden treasure because people know who he is, but man, he steals every scene he's in and you just want more. I wanted more Donald Glover, and he plays Rich Purnell as this caffeinated, socially awkward genius who's operating on, just as we said, this completely different wavelength and reality than most people.
Right.
And he just plays it so well. I love Donald Glover. I will watch anything he's in. All right, Paul, what doesn't hold up?
I didn't really have any cringe from this movie. Eventually, we'll certainly have more science problems with this. That's just the way science fiction goes.
Cody, what doesn't hold up for you?
So I'll go with one that's nitpicking, but it's kind of valid. There's this thing, because this movie I will bring up for both of my complaints. Gravity.
Ugh.
So I'll go with the light one first and then I'll go heavy. The light one is in Gravity, there's this running joke that every time George Clooney tries to tell a joke, he gets interrupted. He gets cut off. And he never gets to finish a story or a joke. One of the two most frustrating things in the whole movie.
Trust me, he's not lying. He won't shut up about this.
Yeah.
Yes. They did that with Matt Damon at the very beginning when the whole crew's on Mars. Like, he's trying to talk, and then they're like, cut him off. We're not doing this to the Ocean's 11 guys. Knock it off. Okay, so that was my lighthearted
You
gripe.
wanted more of the banter between Pena and Damon?
It
was pretty fun.
I want all the banter.
Yeah.
My beef is, and this is something that Gravity did, and I was so mad. There's about 1 million times Sandra Bullock should have died. 1.5 million.
You just want to throw strays at Gravity.
And,
Listen, Gravity was awful,
Right.
dude. And I had the same problems. watching that
and
movie.
like 1,000,000 to 1 odd, she just keeps living through them. And at the very end, life's fine. We're good. We're walking away from this.
She just, like, the world's oceans cover 70%.
Yeah.
And she just happens to land at an archipelago.
Yeah.
Yep, she does. Because,
But in the water, so that it's not hard touchdown. Whatever. Yeah, that was rough, man.
I remember several times in that movie when I thought, yeah, she's going to die.
And like that movie, I don't think the science holds up well. But this movie, the science holds up well, so it kind of covers.
It makes it better, yeah.
A little bit of, because if I have this complaint with Gravity, I have to have this complaint with this movie. Like, he has too many next to impossible 0.0001% chance of this happening to survive, and it just keeps happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm able to grow crops in Mars, and now like I'm able to make this machinery that was from like the first time we went to Mars work, and then I'm able to hop out of my space capsule and cut my glove. And
Now
then,
that one's...
Cody, if you knew anything about botany, you would know. No.
I mean, his logic is pretty spot on, and that's why I'm like, okay, fine, but like, I also know the human body doesn't thrive on just potatoes alone. There's not enough substance to starch.
That's why he was mixing it
malnourished.
with his other supplies.
Yeah.
but
My
yeah.
13-year-old, like, I was so proud of her.
Yeah.
Because in the middle of that, where he's eating the potatoes, she's like, how much lack of protein can a human survive without? Like, could he really just eat potatoes?
Yeah.
So, like, his teeth and his gums, especially by the time they're able to pick him up, and like how gangly he looks, I'm like, okay, I'm here for this.
Which was a body double, by the way.
Yeah.
You could tell. I knew it going in this second viewing, and like, it's pretty obvious.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's just too much far-fetched, like, we have to blow up our space capsule to slow down.
The body double was probably Christian Bale again.
Right.
Just saying, I'm going to lose all the weight again? Sure.
I love the idea of Matt Damon saying, yeah, I'm not Christian Bale. I'm not going to starve myself so I can look that part.
Right.
Or like Tom Hanks. Like, nope,
Right.
I'm going to continue to eat. Thanks though. I'll pass.
I'll do it again.
Yes.
My what doesn't hold up kind of plays into that. It's almost too optimistic. Every problem gets solved. Every agency cooperates, kind of what Paul was talking about. And Paul referenced, like, probably not. But China
shares their
helps.
secret
Congress immediately funds the rescue. The whole world watches and cheers. It's inspirational, but in our day and age, it feels a little naive, even 10 years later.
The movie wisely avoids showing us Congress or the White House.
Yes. The characters are pretty underdeveloped. You mentioned the romance. Like, it feels like the crew of the Hermes, you like them, but you don't really know them. So much so that, again, my 13-year-old daughter, the kids, they like to ship characters.
Yes.
And she was trying to ship characters that actually you find out in this one little bit part, like, Jessica Chastain's character is married.
But yet she's flirty with Matt Damon.
But it's really hard to tell because there's some affectionate moments between the characters. And then by the time you get to the one, they say that you get the one little scene where, these two are actually having a relationship.
Yeah.
Psychologically, psychologically, I do think that you would either grow close, almost intimate with your crew, or you would like hate them. I was okay with the flirty-ish moments between her and Matt.
They call it the Iron Man when Watney tears a hole in his glove to fly across space, essentially.
Yeah.
Most of the science is pretty good in this movie, but that one is the one that feels like it goes into Marvel territory.
Yeah,
it's fitting they
that's
use a
more
Marvel
fantasy.
reference, because I was just like, that scene is crazy. And then finally, let's talk about the Golden Globe controversy. So Fox submits this as a comedy or musical to dodge the competitive drama category, which, let's be very clear, this is not a comedy or a musical.
If you weren't chuckling at some moments, that's on you,
It is
buddy.
very funny, but it masterfully uses the comedy to balance the drama.
Or is it dark humor?
No.
No,
No.
the joke isn't the point.
No. It won best, let me finish. This will be clear.
Yeah.
It won Best Picture Comedy Musical at the Golden Globes, and Damon won Best Actor Comedy Musical, and other filmmakers were PO'd. They were mad. Judd Apatow, whose film Trainwreck lost to it, was really publicly irked. Said
You
some things
weren't
about
going
it.
to win that one anyway,
Trainwreck's
Judd.
pretty good.
He called
was
it
okay.
He called it a punk move. Paul Feig, who did Spy that year, was upset too.
Spy's pretty good.
The HFPA literally changed their rules afterwards.
Yeah.
So this is a great example of something that actually didn't hold up in terms of gamesmanship, awards gamesmanship. They literally classified their movie as something it wasn't to win those Golden Globes. And I think it not winning at the Oscars kind of proves why they did that. So it was within the rules and it was fine, but some other filmmakers were like, that's uncool, bro. Uncool. It's time for Pastor's Corner. A lot of deeper themes you could have drawn on here. The ones I chose were this. A community across distance. The whole movie is about people who can't physically be together, choosing to sacrifice for one person anyways. The crew votes to extend their mission by years.
Yeah, 533 days.
Almost 2 years. Like, they do that so quickly too. I'm just that part of the movie is so emotional and inspiring at the same time. It's like, oh man, I feel like they would have taken longer to come to that
Right.
decision. That's a long time to be alone. NASA moves heaven and earth literally to get back to him. Even China contributes a rocket. It's a movie about the body of Christ without ever saying so, because not many belief traditions have this idea of that no one gets left behind. You leave the 99 to go after the one, which your NASA director guy wouldn't go for.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that's a very Christian idea that's not present in a lot of things. The value of one. The entire plot is predicated on the idea that one human life is worth an absurd amount of effort, risk, and cost. And that's a statement about human dignity that resonates with a faith perspective very well. And then, of course, hope as discipline. Watney doesn't just feel hopeful. He literally works at it, which you kind of reference, Paul.
Yeah,
he has
works.
to work at hope. He makes plans. He solves problems. He logs his progress, which is another thing that keeps your hope
Yeah.
up. Hope in this movie is a very active daily decision for him. And I love that the movie shows that so well. It's a deeply spiritual concept.
And he kind of gives that lesson as his last lines in the movie, too.
Yes. Yeah. When
Which
he's
is
teaching the
great,
class.
yeah.
It's good stuff. I love it. I love all that.
Yeah.
Paul, who's your winner of the movie?
Do I want to change it? No, I mean, I said the Mark Watney performance.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon, the writing, the direction, it makes it okay to spend around an hour and a half just with him on Mars.
Yeah.
And it's still some of the best bits in the movie, which it could have been so boring.
Yep. Absolutely.
And it's not. And it's not just because I think it's getting some of the video game part of my head and that I want to solve the problem with him.
Cody, who's your winner of the movie?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh,
Yes.
all right. Explain.
Because this movie did so well on such kind of a really small budget, even at that time.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott gets to make a bunch of junk. including Napoleon. And so, Joaquin Phoenix got a payday.
Oh my goodness. All right. I love that
man.
you went humor there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go humor on my loser, but not the winner, because the winner of the movie is Andy Weir, who wrote the original material here that turns into the book, The Martian. Now,
That's a good point.
Listen to this. This isn't, I've referenced this a couple times. I've been waiting to tell this story. His story should be made into a movie itself. This dude is a software engineer for his day job. He codes for a living, but he's obsessed with space. And he starts asking himself, as nerds often do, could someone actually survive on Mars? And he starts thinking about it obsessively. And not just movie science fiction-y stuff. He starts, like, he's a real science guy. He digs into the math. He digs into the chemistry, the botany. Yeah. That's real stuff he's thinking about. He spends 3 years working it out, and he writes it as a serial on his personal blog online for free. A handful of space nerds start reading along with it, and they start emailing him corrections on things like orbital mechanics. So he attracts these weird space nerds. And when he's done with these daily things where he's just exploring the idea, they ask him to put it all together and put it on like Kindle, like as a book, to put it together. And so he does. He lists it for the minimum that you can list something on an Amazon Kindle, 99 cents, and it blows up. Publishers find him. The print edition debuts on the New York Times bestseller list, and then Hollywood calls. Then Matt Damon signs on. And now a book that a guy gave away for free on his blog is a $630 million nominated movie for Best Picture. And it allows him to become the next big thing, because he writes a book called, so this is what's crazy, is this was just a thing he was interested in, and it just kind of came out. So when he tries to write something real, a real story, it comes out and it's called Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And it was being fought for by Hollywood before he's even done.
Yeah.
Having audiobooked, listened to it, I would fight for it as well.
We'll be reviewing that next week. And Andy Weir is the winner of this movie. What an incredible story. Paul, who's the loser of the movie?
I said us, because we don't live in this world.
Okay. Yeah.
That was a little dark.
That's dark and fair.
Yeah.
Cody?
Rick Martinez's wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are we a little surprised to see him on the next mission?
Yeah, a little bit.
Literally, she's like, you chose to spend more time away, and he's like, he would have done the same thing for me. And so she's like, okay, and then, oh, we're signing up for the next one.
Yeah, when I saw that on the epilogue kind of the movie, I had to rewind it. It was like, was that, he goes back? What?
Yes. So that was the thought I had while you were talking about deeper themes.
That was wild.
Yeah, that's the Hurt Locker end of that movie.
All right. My loser of the movie, and this is a big one, is Mars. The entire planet, because this is a historically bad choke job. You're Mars. You're the most hostile environment in the known solar system. No oxygen, no water. It's freezing cold. There's radiation. You got dust storms. You've got zero atmosphere. They were heavily, heavily favored in this matchup, Paul. Heavily favored. And you can't close the deal. You can't kill Matt Damon. You throw a storm at him in the first 5 minutes. You put an antenna through his stomach, and the dude gets up and duct tapes himself together. He's strapping things together with duct tape and plastic tarps. He's growing potatoes in your face, and you can't finish him off. You blow up his habitat. You do everything you can, and the botanist from Chicago just keeps sciencing his way out of it. 561 days to finish the job, or souls, should I say. 561 souls to finish the job, and Mars goes 0 for 561. That's a historically bad choke job. Mars is my loser of the movie.
Jupiter's going to start calling it the yellow planet.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul. How many potatoes out of 10 are you giving this movie?
I was surprised when I heard the audience rating, because I think that's where I'm going to land. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Sometimes it's higher for me, but it's one of at this point in my life, it's one of the movies I'm most willing to just sit down and watch just for fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cody.
First time watch. I think I'm going to go an 8.
Yeah.
Like, it's solid.
Yeah.
And For the most part, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll rewatch it or like go out of my way to rewatch it. But it was okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with an 8 too. Yeah. It's very good. I enjoyed it a lot, but I feel like you can tell that it might not be a fully fleshed out story, but given the way it's written. And my expectation is that Project Hail Mary is going to ascend over this movie. We'll find out next week. Yeah. We did something on the last Be Kind Rewind that I kind of wanted to make a thing to continue. Just a little mini game here at the end.
Oh, was I on the last one?
Yeah, we talked. We tried. You tried to guess what movies about basketball had grossed the most money. Right at the end. You remember that?
I do remember that.
And I thought that was a good idea. And so the internet, as I mentioned, has figured out that across 8 movies, the fictional world has spent approximately $900 billion rescuing Matt Damon.
Someone needs to.
Nearly $1 trillion on one guy. Damon himself was asked about it, and he said, "I'm just very leavable." So here's the game. Can you name the top 5 in any order by fictional cost of saving Matt Damon? The 5 movies that are on that list. The top 5.
Well, this one.
So yes, The Martian comes in at number 3, costing $200 billion.
You think Saving Private Ryan?
That would have to probably be number 5 or lower.
I don't know.
Saving Private Ryan does not make the top 5.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We're trying to rescue. I mean, Interstellar.
Yeah.
Interstellar's number 1.
Yeah.
$500 billion interstellar spaceship to rescue an astronaut who, by the way, turns out to be the villain and doesn't even deserve saving.
They're not really rescuing him in the Bourne movies.
Dogma?
No, they're trying to kill him in Dogma.
Yeah.
Would you like Help? Because those 2 are the obvious ones.
Elysium?
Elysium is on the list at number 4.
Really?
100 million space station security deployment and damages. Okay. Number 2, Titan AE. $200 billion Earth evacuation spaceship. Yeah. Nobody, you weren't going to guess that one.
Green Zone.
I love that movie, but I forgot he gets rescued in it.
Close. Green Zone deals with some of the same themes as Courage Under Fire.
That's made up.
$300,000 Gulf War helicopter rescue movie. Interstellar cost $500 billion. This is what's interesting about that. Saving Private Ryan would have cost $100,000. Tom Hanks died for $100,000. Meanwhile, we're spending $500 billion to save a guy who lied about a planet being inhabitable.
Is that indexed to inflation? I think we're at least at 10 million now.
Probably.
All right. What do you guys think about The Martian? Is it one of your favorite sci-fi movies? What'd you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree with some of our opinions? Let us know.
It's no Rocket Man.
Harland. It's always Harland. Let us know on the social media posts for this podcast episode. And of course, share the podcast. Rate us if you haven't rated us. We could always use the rating. It helps it get more discovered. And leave a review on Apple Pods.
Positive, por favor.
Yes. We'll see you next time.